Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. We also need to address my life's going great right now. I ghosted him and never texted him back. The audacity of people, like who would ever ask that? I'm in shock right now.
Count 1, 2, 3, and don't you stop the music, get into it. Won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your downtown, we let it go. Sunset high and I'm ready.
Hey y'all, what is up? It is Marissa Nicole and welcome back to my channel and happy Valentine's Day. Well, actually it's like Saturday, February 15th, so the day after, happy 420. It's the day after Valentine's Day and Griffin and I are going on a date today. And at the end of every month, I always ask you guys on my Instagram what you want to see from me for the next month. And shout out to Reggie for suggesting that I do like a full Valentine's Day like vlog, like they get ready, go on dates, all that good stuff. So that's what we're doing today. It's about 4:30 right now. I need to do my hair and like do my makeup and get ready and everything for the date. I just thought that this video would be a lot more fun if we make it a little chit chat, get ready with me, do some life updates and everything, because I feel like there's a lot of things that I haven't told you guys. A lot of my vlogs lately have been actual events, so I haven't done like a week in my life kind of thing, so I haven't been able to update you guys in a while. And y'all also suggested that I do more Q&As on my channel or just like more chit chat stuff, so we're gonna do that today. I feel like I'm gonna start off with a general chit chat life update from me, and then we'll dive into answering y'all's questions, if that's okay with y'all, because that's what we're gonna do. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait, we also need to address, because I mentioned this on my Instagram and then I have never followed up with it. I posted some little teasers in black and white and was like, oh my gosh, like something's going down, I'm dyeing my hair, what color do you guys think it is? Obviously, as you can see, like nothing looks different, right? I know, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. You can, I guess, kind of see that there's a pink tint. Sorry for my face, I was just like snapping them for my own self, not to like post anywhere, but it's not pink. Like I really wanted my whole head to be pink. We did end up buying more though, so I think we're gonna try again. We'll see what happens with that. Next on the life update agenda, I feel like we should talk about school, of course. I'm only taking 2 classes this semester, but my first class in the morning I have with Alexis, which is Allison's little, and then my second class of the day I have with Lexi, obviously, which is my little. Alexis and I had a quiz in our class the other week, I think 2 weeks ago, that both of us completely forgot about. Like I picked her up in the morning because we live right next to each other, and so we walked to class and I mentioned her, she's like, we have a quiz, and I'm like, yes. So both of us did not study for that quiz and we were both freaking out about it, of course. We got our grades back a couple days later and I actually did well on it. Like I think I only missed 3 in the multiple choice and like 1 on the extended response or something like that, and so like I actually did well and I was very surprised with myself. The class that I have with Lexi is actually going really well in my opinion. I love the class and the professor. Both of these classes have like textbooks and stuff that we were supposed to buy, but me being me, I did not buy the textbooks, and we also had a quiz in that class and I did just fine on it without the book as well. So super senior year, last semester is going great. I only have classes on Tuesday, Thursdays, and they're back to back. All in all, I'm not really like stressed this semester, which is great, but since I have classes Tuesday, Thursday, I'm just working all day Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so that's also kind of a negative, but gotta make money. With it being Valentine's Day, I feel like we should do a life update on Griffin and I, or just like our relationship and everything. I want to start out with Valentine's Day period so I can like update you guys on like what we've been doing and like our plans and gifts or whatever you want to say. Look at this little whatever. So like a week before Valentine's Day, I prepped Griffin and I was like, I need you to block out your schedule Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because I have plans. And he was like, 3 days? And I'm like, yeah. Because most of the time, like Griffin's love language is very much a like gifts or like spending money, that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to kind of like, I guess like repay that and just like take the reins on Valentine's Day because he's always spending money on me or like buying me things or whatever. And so I wanted to do it for him for like 3 days because he does it all the time. So I told him to block out his schedule for 3 days so I can basically spoil him for Valentine's Day. And I also wanted to do a little bit of like everything so that way we could like do a bunch of different stuff. So on Thursday I had planned a fancy dinner, so I told him to come dressed nice, and he came in slacks and a blazer and dress shoes and looked so good. And mind you, like Thursday, but also like any of these days, I didn't tell him what we were doing. I just said that it's like surprises. And then I was driving him to the restaurant and I had obviously like my sleep mask from when we did Big Little reveal, and I wanted it to stay secret. Obviously he would know where we're going if he could see, so I had him put the blindfold on like while I was driving him so that I could just kind of like pop up at the place we needed to be at and it would still be a surprise for him. I took him to a really nice steakhouse and it's called Firebirds, and it's basically a place that Griffin hasn't been to since he lived in North Carolina. He thought that they only had them in North Carolina, and it was so nice but so expensive. It was so nice to just have a nice, like, fancy date night. We had drinks, we got steaks. It was such a good night, y'all, such a good night. And then afterwards we went to Cold Stone and he bought ice cream because he knows I love ice cream and I love Cold Stone. Yesterday on Valentine's Day, I wanted to switch it up. So we did the really fancy dinner and then I wanted to do something more on our level because we're not like super fancy people by any means. So I just told him to be at my house dressed like nicely casual, but I Ubered us to a Chinese restaurant that we used to go to all the time when we first started dating, and we haven't been in a long time, so I was like, oh, this would be so perfect. It's so cute and just chill. It's Chinese food, like duh. So we went to Joy's Village, which is on campus, and it's so yummy. I absolutely love it. When I showed up at his house, he surprised me with this really beautiful bouquet of flowers and a little like heart chocolate thing for Valentine's Day, and so that was just a nice little gesture from him that I adored. And then we came back home and I gave him his gifts, which I kind of did this thing that I got off of Pinterest, but it's like just candy that I literally bought at the dollar store, and I just kind of wrote little like puns on it. Like I got him Starburst and I was like, my heart bursts for you, and I just filled this little bag up with candy for him. It was just something super cute and like simple. And then I also made him a little like relationship board game on a poster board that like you roll the dice through and it's like, I love you because, or my favorite memory with you is because. Then we just spent the night like playing our little relationship game. It was just so cute. And then today, obviously I'm getting ready for our third date activity. He's at work right now. I told him that I would be up there whenever he gets off work. I have these 2 gift cards for the candle lab so that we can make a free candle. And I was like, why not do that? But I was also thinking we could stop by Olive Garden because food, and my best friend Caitlin is serving, so I wanted to like sit in her section and like say hi to her. But other than Valentine's Day, like our life update is pretty much the same. We're doing great. Griffin is full-time working, graduated, and I'm finishing up my last semester. We're still looking for apartments and seeing where we're gonna live together and stuff like that whenever I graduate. We've started like eating healthier and like meal planning and meal prepping, and everything is just kind of like falling together in our lives, but also like my life and just like personal. Like my life is going great right now, which is actually weird and crazy to say because it's usually not. My hair is done now. We zoomed in for obviously the makeup, but typically I'm gonna leave my curls like this until I'm done, and then I like shake them out and make them more loose. But for now they're gonna stay like this while we start my makeup. And we're also gonna start the Q&A portion of this because I feel like I've done a good life update. If you guys want to know anything else that I didn't update you guys on, let me know in the comments. I can always do more of these videos because you guys like these. So for foundation, I use the Matte and Poreless Normal to Oily Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and I use shade 115 Ivory. The first question comes from Bria, and she said, how did you and Griffin meet? And I think that's so cute, obviously for Valentine's Day. Griffin and I actually lived in the same dorm our freshman year of college here at Ohio State, and so that's how I officially like knew him / met him. But I'm also gonna tell you guys, I guess, like how we started dating in a way-ish while we're on this because it kind of ties in. But we went on a date our freshman year, and we used to talk and hang out at like events that the dorm would be having. Like we played like volleyball together, and he like broke his finger playing volleyball with us. There was one weekend where his floor was in charge of cooking the meal because every week a different floor would like cook a meal for the entire building on Fridays or something. And so his floor was in charge. They were making pasta, which was like my absolute favorite. He like texted me and was like, hey, you should come down tonight for the floor meal. And I was like, okay. And so I went down and we like talked the entire time, and obviously I ate the pasta. It was delicious. I can't tell if I'm overexposed in this or not, so I'm sorry if I am. Is that better? I feel like that's better. Okay. He doesn't see as a date. I count it as a date because like he personally invited me to do this, and then I personally went to hang out with him. Like yes, there was other people there, I guess, but they weren't there like with us. Like we were talking. I don't know. I count it as a date. He sometimes doesn't, but I like to think that it was a date because I went with the intentions of it being a date. Also, I'm now going in with my e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer in the shade Light Sand for my concealer. Long story short, nothing ever came of it. We never really hung out again. I ghosted him and never texted him back. But then fast forward to senior year, so last year in the fall, I had joined my sorority my junior year. That fall, my senior year, was my first like fall, which is kind of like the big party semester in college because it's warm and people throw a lot of parties. So that was like my first time being like social in my sorority. So of course I went to parties with them, and we ended up at a party one night at somebody's house, and I'm standing in the kitchen of this house and Griffin's standing there. I just walk up to him and I'm like, did you used to live in Siebert? And he goes, yeah. Long story short, that's how we re-met, and then we started hanging out, and I would see him at other parties. We ended up being at his frat party. I didn't even know he was in a frat, and then we started talking and we started dating. Next question from Kiana. Where are some cute date spots at OSU? Also, I love you. I love you too. Before we go into the next question, I actually just buffed out my contour using my Wet n Wild contour stick, and it's in the shade Oaks on You 804A. In my opinion, I love Mirror Lake like, I think that's like the cutest area to have a date, especially like while you're in college. Literally go to the Mirror Lake eatery, grab like a milkshake and just like eat a milkshake together by Mirror Lake. I think that's like the cutest date spot idea. I just set my contour with Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 100 with my Morphe, and then I'm also gonna set my highlight with my Milani Prep Set and Go Transparent Face Powder, again with my Morphe sponge. I also think honestly just like sitting on the oval together is super cute. You guys could have like a little picnic on the oval, that's adorable. Walk through Buckeye Grove, that would be super cute. Do what works for y'all, but like my go-tos would be Mirror Lake, the Oval, Buckeye Grove, even Sloopy's Diner. Go have like an actual like sit down restaurant style Sloopy's Diner. Morgs asks, do you think you'll stay in Ohio after graduation? If no, where would you want to move? So I'm definitely gonna have a new update video coming of like what I'm doing after graduation because I haven't answered that for you guys yet. But short answer for this video is yes, I plan on staying in Ohio for a tiny bit after graduation, but if I had the choice all to myself, I would be moving to Colorado like the day after. I would grab my diploma and immediately walk from the shoe onto my plane to Colorado if I had it my way. But I will have a whole video going more into detail on that. Next question is from Rahima, I'm sorry. She asks if Griff and I are going to live together after graduation. And again, all that'll be in like my big update video, but long story short, yes. She also asks, are you gonna work in Ohio? Like I said, yes, for a little bit. I'm hopefully wanting to move at some point out of Ohio, but for now, I'm looking for jobs in Ohio after graduation. She is just coming with all the questions today. She also asked, what do you think your content will be after you graduate? And that one is hard because I don't know. I'm gonna start on my eyes now, which I'm going in with my Adeline X Tarte palette. If you guys haven't seen that before, Adeline's my favorite YouTuber, but I'm assuming it's just gonna switch to more so like lifestyle stuff, like what am I doing? More day in my life kind of vlogs, and then how to transition like from college into the real world. I feel like I'm gonna be doing a lot of like budgeting and finance videos still, more like moving vlogs of course because I'll be moving. I feel like that's more so what it's gonna go to, at least at first. Who knows? But at least know that I'm not going anywhere. Kaylee asks, what personal obstacles have you overcome in the last 5 years? I'm assuming you're asking specifically like because of college, like what has happened in my college life the last 5 years that I have like overcome, and there's a lot. And that kind of upsets me to say because honestly, my college years have not been easy or fun all the time. I know that it always seems like that, and you guys always think I live this like perfect life, because I mean, I'm guilty of that too when I see people just doing great things. I'm like, wow, I wish my life was theirs. And there's people that wish that their life was like mine. It's so weird, but I feel like huge like life obstacles that I feel like I've been through is how to deal with toxic people in my life, and that includes, you know, relationships and friendships. I think I've grown a lot from having both of those in my life these past 5 years, unfortunately. As much as I obviously didn't want any of that to happen or to like go through any of that, I always take it as like a learning experience. I think another one would be how to put myself first. I've grown a lot into being very, for lack of a better word, like confrontational in my life, which I feel like I've always been that to an extent, like, but I feel like I've learned more how to choose the right battles and how to be confrontational in a respectful way, and to always know like when it's necessary to stand up for myself and when it's necessary to stand up for others, that it's okay to like speak your mind and to believe what you believe and like do that with your whole heart kind of thing. Communication is key, and I feel like that's number 3, is a lot of obstacles that I've kind of overcome is just dealing with people who don't communicate or like communicate well, or just being in situations where I've had to learn how to communicate better or adapt my communication for what I'm doing, for like sorority life, work life, academic life, friend life, relationship life. Like I've learned how to just be a bigger, better person. Another obstacle which I'm still overcoming is what to do with my life. I'm now going in with my Tartelette in Bloom palette, but I keep gravitating more towards stuff like this. I just don't really know what kind of job that would be. Like I'm having such a hard time finding a job just because I don't even know what to like look for. Like what is the job that I want? What is it even called? Like I don't know how to like search that up, and like trying to figure out mainly number 5 here, who I am. Like who is Marissa? What does she enjoy? What is she passionate about? What does she believe in? What does she stand for? Like I feel like I've been tried and tried again in all of those areas, and I think I'm still learning and I'm getting better, but I'm definitely still trying to figure out who I am and what I like, because I in the past have been such a people pleaser, and I still am, but I've always lived my life for other people and for the acceptance or like approval of other people. I've been trying to live my life for me, and that's really hard to do as like a person like me, not like in general. Liv asks, what is my favorite thing about Griffin and or your relationship with him? The first thing that comes to mind, my favorite thing about Griffin is his sense of humor. Like me and him just click on that level so well that we literally just die laughing anytime we're together. Like, we can make anything fun, and I love that. I think that we go hand in hand really well in that sense, and I love that about him and our relationship. I'm also now going in with my Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. I feel like my favorite thing about our relationship, I guess, would be how much he genuinely like cares about me. Like, he is always right there whenever I need him. If I'm having a bad day, I don't even have to second guess and be like, oh, I don't even want to like bother him with my problems again. Like, he is there for me, and I feel like we both do that. Of course, I'm always there for him, but I feel like that's something that I've never had before in a relationship, but also even in like a friendship. And so like having that with him is so special and important, and I like value that part of our relationship, I think, more than like anything else that I value. Now for my eyebrows, I always just use my like powder from like an eyeshadow palette because I feel like I have decently shaped eyebrows already and they're already like thick or whatever, so I just kind of like fill them in, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing with an eyeshadow palette on my eyebrows. The next question comes from Britt, and she also just asked what I was doing after college, so again, I will have a full video on that. Cameron asks, did you let him smash yet? And if so, was it good? Are you fucking kidding me? The audacity of people, like, who would ever ask that? I'm in shock right now. Yana asks advice for an introvert. So I'm not really sure exactly what kind of advice you want. Like, if you're wanting advice in like school or in friendships or in relationships, that could go tons of different ways. Mascara that I'm using is my L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Lash Paradise. Best mascara ever. But I guess like an overall advice for introverts is to just be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Put yourself in situations that you normally wouldn't put yourself in. That's for like extroverted people too. I mean, I'm always wanting to do things that make me a little bit uncomfortable because that's the only way that you'll grow. So if you're trying to be less introverted, you gotta put yourself out there no matter how much you like don't want to, or it's really uncomfortable for you or scary or whatever. You just gotta do it sometimes. Growth never happens from a space of comfortability. You always have to be doing something new and making yourself uncomfortable sometimes. And then last but not least, highlighter I use from the Adeline X Tart palette, always, because it literally has the best highlighter on this planet. And then I'm also gonna use the I Feel Beautiful blush that she has in here right underneath the highlighter a little bit. And then to finish this off, I use my NYX Bare With Me Prime Set Refresh setting spray, which you can also use as a primer. I didn't use primer because I know I'm only gonna be wearing this for like 2 or 3 hours until we come back home while my setting spray is drying. Mallory asks, do you have any regrets from college? Allison and I actually did a whole video, I think this past summer, of like regrets that we have in college. I'll link it for you guys to watch, but I think I want to do an updated one because I've of course had even more regrets and also ones that I never mentioned. So I'm gonna save that for another video. I'm so sorry, Mallory. But it is like almost 5:30. I have to leave here soon. My makeup's done. My hair is done. Basically all I do is like flip it upside down, shake it out, bring it back up, and you're all loosed out. So I'm going to get dressed and we're gonna go get Griffin and go do date night. We don't have time to answer any more questions, but thank you for doing that. We'll definitely do some more Q&As also, so I might save them for another Q&A video. I don't know, but thank you for asking me questions. I'm gonna get dressed so we can go and I can be on time for once, because y'all know every time I do these videos, I'm always running late, so we're gonna be on time. I'm gonna go get Griffin, and I'll see you guys in a second. Hello everyone, I just finished editing this, and this video is already too long to add in the dates for, so the actual like date nights of Valentine's Day, so I'm actually gonna split these videos. I'm sorry, I wasn't planning on it. I wanted to make it all one, but I feel like it's gonna be way too long if I combine them, so we're gonna split them up. Here's the Q&A portion, and then the actual date night parts will come a little bit later, if not tomorrow. Don't hold me to that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Oh my god, wait. Actually, notable quotable. Today's notable quotable comes from Ned Tech Girl, and hers says, lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. And I like that one. It's very just like straight to the point, but I think it also ties into kind of what I was talking about with kind of the obstacles that I've overcome within my 5 years and having to deal with a lot of either toxic relationship, toxic people, learning how to be confrontational, learning to find myself. And the only way to grow or to kind of be better at all of those things is to not lose sleep over the opinions of people that don't matter, or people that have opinions over my life and they have no bearing on my life. You know what I mean? This is my life, so I should be living it to the best of my ability to make me happy, making choices for me and focusing on myself. If you're always focused on what other people think of you or how they're going to think if you do something, or just focusing on other people, losing sleep over the opinions of sheep, you're really not going to be able to live your best life or to be happy with yourself. So I challenge all of you to not compare yourself to others. I always say this, I feel like, in every notable quotable, but comparison is the thief of all joy. Focus in on yourself, make yourself happy, do what makes yourself happy, and don't listen to others, especially their negativity. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Downtown we let it go. Sunset high and our bodies low. Blood rush in the haze.